Great. So one big question that came up quite a bit was, how do I get people to sign up without scaring them away? So a couple things that I want to point out here is the most important thing for you to remember is that you're a coach first and a teacher second. What that means is your mantra is, how can I help you? Your primary job is to motivate and inspire a student to make progress and to try their best, especially at the early stages of these relationships. So these people don't know you, they don't know what value you bring, they don't know anything about you, they just know that they want to learn a particular language. So your mission really is just to inspire them and motivate them to actually try, even though sometimes it gets hard. So your job is about encouragement. Your job is about, yes, teaching some vocabulary and grammar and perhaps some best ways to memorize or practice a new language, but your primary job is encouragement. A number of you have tried to actively sell the coaching program or the coursework, and I would encourage you not to do that. I have quite a bit of experience in serving as a coach, and I can promise you that if the person is in fact a good prospect, they will convince themselves. You don't have to do any convincing. So I would urge you not to ask the prospect to make a purchase decision until after the 7 days is over. And during that 7-day period, and you'll now be able to see it when that person, has a bold name as opposed to an unbolded name. Just offer to help them and remind them that they get your time for free for 7 days, because what we've done is we've given them a mechanism in order to be able to interact with you. And then after the end of that 7 days, they basically have a purchasing decision. So allow us to do the selling in this process. Your job is just to give them a sense of how coaching works. And I'm going to walk you through some examples of how that might work for you in this particular model. Again, those students who are ready for you and are right for you as a student are going to ask you how they sign up. You don't really have to convince anyone to do this. So at the very, very beginning of this, the really great open questions to ask are, have you tried the lessons yet? Can I answer any questions? Or something like, I've been assigned as your French coach or English coach or German coach, and can I answer any questions for you? Or you could even ask a really wide open question on what brings you to learn, French or Italian or German and so forth. In the process of moving someone from a maybe into a yes, who really wants to spend time with you as the coach and really wants to actively participate in this and engage in it and happily, willingly spend money on that, the trigger question you're looking for is what they're going to ask you, how does coaching work? And I'm going to suggest the following kind of response sequence. Emphasize your job is to help that person make progress. As the coach, you can say, you can ask me to review your speaking exercises and writing exercises when you complete them. And because this mechanism is now in place universally for these folks, each review is going to cost you 120 tokens. So, and you can tell them that they can always see how many tokens they have in the top right corner of this site. If you want me to serve as your personal language coach, and this is a recommendation that I make, I'm suggesting that what you do is you just set up a flat fee for a Get Started program, and I would say something like 1,200 tokens, which is about 30 minutes of your time, and just say, look, in the first week or so, I'll create a lesson plan for you based on what you want to accomplish. When you get stuck, I'll help you with your study material, and I'll teach you some grammar and share some other materials with you to help make you progress. And the reason I came up with this suggestion is that when someone signs up as a coaching program student, they get 2,400 tokens, which is about an hour of your time, automatically. So they don't have to think, they don't have to do anything, they just have to take those 1,200 tokens and they give them to you as a get started part, and they still have 1,200 tokens to do basically another 10 reviews with you. And then you can say to them, once they get going, once they're into this, you can say to them then, if you want to make faster progress, you can buy more of my time with more tokens, and we can work together more often. We can do online chat role plays. We can actually go into more detail in some of the vocabulary or the grammar, and then just ask them if that's interesting to them. And if they say yes, then all I have to do is they sign up for this coaching program and they automatically get the 2,400 tokens. So if you use these sets of phrases as part of your email communication with your prospective client students, you're going to make, it's just going to be a lot easier for you to convey what the value of this coaching is. And again, you're not selling them here at this point. This is after they've asked you how coaching works. So they're actually telling you they're really interested. And at that point in time, I would urge you to try something like this. Any questions at this point? I'll just stop. So Miranda's asking a question. What exactly are they getting for 7 days that's free? And so they're getting a couple of things for free. The first thing they're getting for free is they're getting access to active, I'm just going to use French as an example because that's what I've been doing. So if you do active French, you're going to get the entire active French course for free for 7 days. They'll also have the opportunity to send speaking or writing exercises to you through the active French course. And they'll be able to do that, I think it's twice during that week. And they'll get to do that for free, and then we have a mechanism that makes it possible for them to understand what tokens are and how that works. And then the third thing they get for free is essentially they get the opportunity to interact with you and to find out what coaching is. During that week, essentially your opportunity is to explain to them how this works and what their choices are, which is why I'm suggesting what I did with this moving the maybes to yes. And again, you don't have to take notes on all this stuff. We'll be posting all of this up into the shared documents areas, so you can look at this later. I'm suggesting this language for you because that once they've shown some interest in participating in the coaching program, then it's your opportunity to tell them what that program is, how that works, and how it is you want to operate as a coach. Okay, so I'll just repeat the question for my colleague here. So there is a coach that has a student
who isn't connected
and wants to have that connection. What do we do?
For now, what we have done for a few of the coaches is that if you have a specific student who is already on LiveMocha but is not connected to you as a coach and are interested in having you as a coach, you can just send that information along to us. And you would, first of all, well, we know who you are, so you would send the student's email address to us, the one that they use. Right. You send the student's LiveMocha email to us so that we can look up their account. You send this information to coaches@livemocha.com, and basically it will take us a day or two to hook you up. And once we've done that, we will let you know. And so what happens at that point is they're connected to you as a coach, but they haven't actually signed up for the coaching program yet. So what they would have to do is sign up for the coaching program, and once they have that, they will get their 2,400 tokens to use with you for coaching time, more coaching time, or just exercise reviews.
And then more program.
So more programmatically, this point has come up quite a bit. And so what we're going to do is we're going to set it up. When we open up coaching to everyone inside of LiveMocha, they will be able to select you as a coach. Now, that mechanism we didn't put in place for this pilot for obvious reasons because we've got enough challenges to deal with. But the idea that the place that we're moving to is that if someone that you bring from the outside world or from even inside of LiveMocha that you've already got a relationship with and you want them to be, if you guys mutually want to work together and you want to be their coach and they want to be your student, they'll be able to select you for that purpose. Okay. Next question, payment, everyone's favorite topic. I think we've addressed this, but I just want to go through it one more time. If you get an email notice from us, and that's the email that Christine showed you, and again, that's in the FAQ document that we posted as a PDF for everyone. If you get an email notice that has an exercise review has arrived from a paid student, and it clearly says that in the email from us, then you're going to be paid for just completing that review. We track those completions and we will pay you. In the past, we had an invoice process. You don't need to do that. We're going to send you a statement, and I think there was an email that came. Did that email go out yesterday with the payment instructions? So there's an email that you should have received by today that has information about how it is that you're going to get a statement twice a month from us that says how many reviews that you've completed and also how many tokens you've collected, and therefore how much money we owe you. And then you have a couple of days to review that, and if you don't do anything because it's correct, then we just send you money based on that statement. And then if you see anything in that particular statement that we send you twice a month that isn't correct, then you just have to email us back at that email address, which was, I think, something like payments@livemocha.com, and then we'll get to work on figuring out what it is that the discrepancy is, and we'll fix it, and then we'll pay you in the next cycle. So the mechanics for getting paid are, again, if you get an email notice, you're going to get an exercise review that is to be done. We're going to just count that when you've completed it, and then you're going to get paid for that. In terms of collecting tokens, you don't have to collect tokens for those reviews because that's it's automated. The only time you have to collect tokens is for any other activities that you do directly with your students. So, for example, if you do what I suggest and have a 1,200 tokens kickoff plan where you build a study plan for those folks, or you decide that you want to do a weekly retainer and charge them 1,200 tokens or 2,400 tokens, depending on whatever it is that you guys have decided with your individual students. As you collect those tokens, we will be sending you a statement twice a month that shows you how many tokens you've collected, what your rating was, and what it is that we're paying you. So again, there is just this bit of confusion because we have a little bit of tutor review stuff to clean up that's still in the system, but we're going to flush that out, and we're going to flush out the old tutor review program and replace that with the coaching program. So some coaches will only do reviews, some coaches will only do study plans, some coaches will do weekly retainers and do really cool stuff. Like we have this one coach that turned out they had to work with a student in, I think it was Argentina, to work on their English for a medical exam. So all kinds of really cool stuff that comes out of that you can bill with whatever it is that you can discuss and come to agreement with your student in terms of how many tokens you want to collect. So with that, I'll be quiet on this topic and we'll answer some questions.
So looking through the questions, Jenny wanted to clarify whether until the students can select the coaches, if the coaches and the student have agreed they want to be in a coaching relationship but the student is not currently assigned to the coach, yes, the coach can please forward that student's LiveMocha email to coaches@livemocha.com, and we will set that up for you.
So here's a great question. Miranda asked a question of if a student wants me to create a specific lesson plan, would I ask them to buy my time, or do I do that during the 7-day trial period? So I would urge you to spend that 7 days to establish a relationship with someone who thinks they want to coach. The reason they've begun this conversation with you is because they're reasonably serious about the particular language they're studying, and they have some particular objective, whether it's an exam or a promotion or a trip, or there's usually some sort of motivating factor. I would urge you to spend your first 7-day trial period to find out what it is that they're trying to accomplish and explain to them how coaching works, and urge them to do some exercises and review those exercises for them. I personally wouldn't do a detailed lesson plan for someone until they've made the commitment to get into the program, because you could be doing quite a bit of work for someone who says that they're going to go do something and then they change their mind and don't do it. And so I would urge you not to do that. I would suggest that you do lesson plans once somebody's set up. But you can explain what one is, and you can explain why it's helpful and how you're going to go about doing that with them and the kinds of questions that they're going to have to answer in order for you to do a good job of setting up a lesson plan for them. But I wouldn't recommend that you actually create a lesson plan for someone during the trial.